Hello and welcome back to Intuition Nutrition, the mini-series. I'm really excited to speak with Elena Lipson, who's calling me from her favorite coffee shop. Elena is a divine care mentor, and she is here to tell us a little bit about divine self-care. Elena, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for being flexible on location. Normally I do interviews in my office, but today I was out and about kind of day, so this works. We'll make it work.
Now, where are you calling from? Where are you right now? What part of the country?
So right now I'm in Fairhaven. I'm in Bellingham, Washington is the Pacific Northwest. This is a little kind of a historic town called Fairhaven. So it's really beautiful. I come here to write and work, and so
I can hear the steam machine behind you. Well, it's probably nicer there than it is here. We're in the middle of Stormageddon in New Hampshire, like 3 feet of snow.
Amazing.
So, Elena, tell us a little bit about how you came to be this divine self-care mentor.
I love my title.
I do too.
Thank you. So essentially, I'm a women's transformational empowerment coach. We do business coaching and life coaching, all centered around becoming your number one asset. So the way it started for me, actually, as I look back, like most paths do, they start a long time before you recognize them sometimes. So I was actually a corporate trainer, and I was in sales, and I also started coaching on the side. So this is 15 years ago. So I did a lot of kind of ambitious type of go-getter, 50, 60-hour a week type of work, which I loved. I actually really liked it. I never was trying to escape corporate. I actually really liked working within that environment, getting creative, working with people, creating curriculum. It was all the things that were right up my alley. The thing that I didn't quite get around that time was how to really step back and rest. And, in some ways, I look back and I see like how the 20s sort of are kind of that time where you're going. And no one teaches us to stop and take a pause and honor our time, and not to just make it that 1 week of vacation a year, which I did, to really make it a lifestyle, to figure out how to manage your daily rhythms and your energy and not to go against them, which a lot of women do, especially during that motivated, ambitious kind of period of your life. And for a lot of us, it just keeps going because there's more ideas and more creativity as we move on to different areas of life, and then we add on motherhood and marriage and all kinds of stuff. So for me, what I look back and see is a very ambitious, creative woman who was not taking care of herself really well, and how that showed physically was that I got really, really sick. I had 2 autoimmune issues. I had pain that I spent years trying to figure out what it was. Along that path, they discovered precancerous colon cells, and I wonder how much that really can happen to people who start kind of exploring their own health and not feeling well. So essentially, when I decided to kind of reignite my coaching career, focused mostly on women and health and wellness, I was really drawn to self-care as the core foundation of what I wanted to teach, because it really has transformed my life. My morning routine, my permission to do nothing, my telling my husband, you know what, today's the day I'm going to sit on the couch and read a book or watch something stupid that I want to watch, and not feel guilty about it, and trust that my brain, my heart, my spirit is going through a cycle of creativity and rest. And, we need to do that. So that's my kind of fuel, my motivation to give women permission to honor every part of the cycle, including the nothing part of the cycle, and the going within part of the cycle, and allowing that to be okay, and not waiting until you're sick and have no other choice, but to just unplug fully. So that's it's kind of owning it, like really owning it. And I chose a name that I think gets people's attention, and that was really part of the picture. Divine self-care mentor. Like, what's that? What do you do? So that's what I do. I run masterminds, I run workshops, I have programs, and I do one-on-one work, which is really, I love doing that kind of work as well. So yeah.
Wow, it sounds great and very transformational for people. I love that you're touching on allowing yourself with permission to do nothing. I think many of us women especially feel guilty when it's there's nothing going on and we don't have anything planned and we just want to sit on the couch. It's like, oh, I should be doing this. I know I do it. I should be doing that.
Right. And that changes over time. For me, that used to be leaving the dishes. Like, you know what? I'm going to go play with my son, and I'm not even going to look in the kitchen. I'm going to walk right by it. And today it looks different. Today I have someone that I hired to come in and clean for me while I do my work. And so, at different stages of your life, that's going to look different. But it took me a while to give myself permission to hire someone to help me clean. And, so I think everyone has their own kind of journey of where their support looks doable, and what looks financially doable, and how to gain people support in your life around that as well. Because at first my husband was like, well, why do we need to hire someone? That's crazy. And
Right.
but so I thought, yeah, you're right. We don't need to. And then I thought, no, wait a minute. But it didn't happen overnight. It took a while for me to really own that. Like, no, I have work to do. I'm doing this here, and I want it clean here, and it helps. So there's layers to it. It's not as simple as saying, okay, magic wand, boom, you can do everything you want to do, hire everyone you want to hire. It's actually kind of a process to own that, and to own your value and your worth in your work and in your life. And how do you do all that? And that's what I help women do.
I'm so glad that you're there doing that to help people. I think more women need people like you in their lives. So what do you do in the morning? You say you have a morning routine that's changed everything. Can you walk us through it?
Yes. So it started as like a 5-minute yoga practice. When I was going through this sort of dark period of my life where I was asking myself, who am I now that I'm a mom and I still want to be a business person, and how do I make it all work, and how can I still do everything I want to do in a way that feels really good? So I was taking this 6-month yoga intensive, when part of it was the teacher invited each of us to start a daily yoga practice at home, teaching all the concepts and taking them home, right? So really starting that process. And part of it was getting up early and doing yoga. And I thought, okay, that's no. Like, I have a baby at home, and I needed my sleep. So I thought, okay, you know what? I could do 5 minutes. 5 minutes, no problem. So I started setting my alarm for 5 minutes earlier, which I snoozed a few times, but I did. I got up, and I just sort of, in my sleepy state, I just kind of turned on a low light, and I did 5 minutes of stretching, the little routine that we've been learning, and kind of a profound routine. It was really, it addressed all your body areas. So afterwards I felt really, really good. And I thought, okay, I can see the connection now. I can see how even just 5 minutes in the morning is starting to make me a more patient mom to my young child.
Ooh, yeah.
And I just felt more present in my body. And I thought, okay, I get it. Like, I've made that yoga connection before, but this was a little different because it was how I started my day. And I like to say the way you start your day is the way you show up in your world. And that really became my mantra, to not just doing 5 minutes, but then I made like, okay, I could do 10 minutes now, and I can do 15 minutes now. And literally over an 8-year process, it became a 60 to 90-minute routine. So I didn't just wake up one day and do 90 minutes, though if you want to. But I teach women to do something in the morning that's not exactly what I do, but it's really creating a sacredness around your morning and allowing that to support you in whatever role you play during the day, whether it's being the best mom you want to be that day, whether it's showing up for your clients, whether it's giving a presentation, whatever. It really does support that foundational way you show up. I mean, between snoozing and jumping in the shower, throwing on some clothes, grabbing a bite, and running out the door, it's a very different person that shows up to one who wakes up, takes time to stretch, really honors what you're wearing, really decides to write in the journal and clear your mind and set an intention for the day. That's a different coach, mom, wife, partner showing up. So every morning I do something for my mind, something for my body, and something for my spirit, divine connection. And that has changed over time. But essentially, I've taken the morning pages ritual from Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way, which so many people know. How did I not see this for years? I felt like I discovered this jewel, and some sort of morning pages, which sometimes is literally just me writing, thank you, thank you, thank you. And sometimes I have things on my mind that I really want to work through. And I've always been a writer. I've had a diary since I was like 8. So it's very natural for me to want to write and get clear in my mind. Then I do something for my body, and that changes over time depending on the season. If it's summer, I'll go out and run in the morning and do yoga just outside where I live. I live in a beautiful, there's deer and mountains, and so I can just go out. Now it's cold outside and it's dark in the morning, so I just want to kind of stay in my little cave. So I will just open up my computer and put on a Koya video, Qoya, which is this combination of dancing and yoga, and it just lights me up. I love it. I call it igniting your inner pilot light in the morning. It's actually an Ayurvedic principle to actually warm up your body in the morning, and it actually affects your neurology. It's super fascinating if you want to get into the science. And then I do something for spirit. So I will either pull up my Florence Scovel Shin book and read from there, the Magic Path of Intuition, or I'll put up Think and Grow Rich, or I'll pull up Ask and It Is Given, or something that is like that abundance, prosperity, divine mentality, so that I can take my intention, I can own it, and then I can just give it away. Like, you got this, universe, I'm in. So I'm definitely very spiritual in that way. And, you don't have to be, it could be a Bible, it could be just, whatever book is inspiring to you, something
Sure.
that you're adding to your mental health in the morning, right? And so from there, and then there's many other choices, what food you drink or eat, or I have warm lemon water in the morning. But I like to be just conscious and present because I'm waking up a child and I'm starting his day as well. And that affects how he shows up in school. And so lately he's been doing his own morning routine after a few years and years of watching me do one. He wants to take a bath in the morning. And the first time he did it, he was like, "Mommy, I feel so perky and happy." And I did not, like, I didn't tell him to do it and I didn't ask him to do it. He just one day woke up and he's like, "Mom, how come when you wake me up in the morning, you're so happy?" and I'm just like sleepy. And I say, "Well, by the time I get to you, I've been doing yoga and writing for like an hour and then I take a shower. So I'm all ready for you by the time you wake up." And he's like, "Okay, I want to do that too." And so we started by doing some stretching and jumping jacks. And now he wakes up on his own, just walks right into he takes a bath and he does some movement. He'll groom himself in the mirror and get dressed. It's really cute. But the cool thing is, like, I'm affecting the next generation of someone who's going to honor himself as a person in the morning. And he even his teacher has noticed that he has been showing up just more present, and he's 9. So
well, they say the life you live is the lesson you teach, and so you're definitely living your life as a lesson for him, and that's wonderful.
Right.
So could you give women watching maybe 1 or 2 tips that they could just put into place right now to try to get started on some more self-care?
Yeah, I think, first of all, giving yourself permission to take the time that you need away from what you think you have to do, because sometimes we leave ourselves to be last on the list. And I think more and more women are getting it. Like, I get it, the connection between going off to play and being with my friends. Like, I feel refueled. I feel nourished. So even just a conscious awareness of noticing what areas of your life you feel like you're constantly pushing through and where you can use some more space to do simple things like, sit and read a book for no other reason than it's fun. We all so many develop self-help books, we're self-helping ourselves into just, I don't even know where, but you can just give yourself permission to just play again. And as far as the morning routine, I do really feel like that is, if you're going to start anywhere, just notice even if you don't think you have a routine, you do. There's some things that you do every single day that either are working or not working. You either love how you start your day or you don't. Just really start being conscious about it and just, review what I said, mind, body, spirit. There's one thing you can do, and it could be your own personal routine. Like, you don't have to do what I do, but really think about it. Like, maybe there's even just a simple stretching, even if you have 1 minute per mind. Like, if you want to write for a minute, stretch for a minute and read one thing that's inspirational, even a mantra, and notice, does that affect my day in a better way? Do I feel more present? Do I feel like I want to do more? And just invite yourself to talk about self-care, even with your friends, and see what they think, what their reaction is. Just start the conversation, because, even for clients in my business, I've seen a huge shift. And now I have more time on my schedule for play, more time, and I'm more successful in my business than I've ever been. And so it really is kind of a positive relationship between honoring yourself, getting creative, giving yourself permission to just do the things you want to do, and allowing that to infuse what you need to do with joy. And so there's a real loop back up there, right?
Yes. Thank you. Well, I know that a few years ago I started the morning routine for myself. Same thing, morning pages and some yoga, little meditation, and it makes all the difference. I feel like my feet are on the ground, my head is in, where it needs to be, and so yeah, I can attest to what you're doing. It really does work. So, well, Elena, thank you so much for joining me. This has been such a nice chat with you. Yeah, and where can people find out more about you? Can you give us your website?
Yeah, just Elena Lipson, ElenaLipson.com. It's got everything on there, my blog, my social media stuff, my latest programs, and everywhere you can find me. So it's all there.
Excellent. Great. Well, please check her out, because Elena's the real deal. You can see by the serene look in her eyes, she knows what she's talking about.
Oh.
All right. Well, thanks
so
again.
Much.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the snow. It's warm.
Oh, yes. All right. Take care, everybody. Tune in next time for more food for your mind, body, and soul. Bye-bye.